Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is Chat with Kathy and I'm your host Kathy Njao. I'm not alone on set today. I have a guest with me. I want him to introduce himself to us. Hi.
Hi, Ken.
His name is Victor. So tell us about you.
Well, my name is Victor Kuria. A teacher by profession, an alumni of Laikipia University. I'm also a practicing psychological counselor. I teach in Nyandarua County. That's where I teach English and literature. I interact a lot with young people, and I'm grateful to be here.
Oh, nice. I'm sure you do a lot of other things, but utaki kusema, but okay.
Yeah, primarily teaching is what I do most of the time. I also preach.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, I'm a preacher. Part of my introduction is that I'm born again. I love Jesus as my Lord and Savior. Amen.
And you sing too. Hausemi unaimbanga. Victor does a lot of things, guys. So we'll be having him on the show today. We're going to talk about teenage depression. So Chat with Kathy goes across all ages. See adults peke yake. So I would really want us to talk about our younger brothers and sisters. So Victor, tell me, what do you think causes depression with these young people?
Well, I think to begin with, I would want to say that depression among the teens is a silent pandemic that people have not been able to very well look at and internalize. You're going to realize that in the recent past, the number of cases that we are having, I said I'm a teacher and therefore I deal with teenagers. We look at depression amongst the teens and look at what is this we are calling depression. Is it just stress? Is it just feeling moody? At what time do we say that a teenager has gotten to the point of depression?
Yeah.
We say that one is in depression irrespective of their age when they have a condition mentally that comes along with prolonged series of anxiety, prolonged series of low self-esteem, prolonged feelings of fear, irritability and all that.
Yeah.
So looking at what causes that, by that definition of what teen and teenage depression is, amongst many, one of the causes of teenage depression is peer pressure.
Yeah.
Peer pressure because teenagers are at an age we call identity versus role confusion. They are craving for identity. They want social approval, and they want to identify with their peers. If that does not come in well, they are going to feel isolated. They'll feel condemned, and they might actually get to a point of depression. They would want to match up with their peers, and I think that contributes significantly to teenage depression. I also think that it's highly caused by the body image. Teens, Kate, I can tell you, they really care too much and they're so conscious of how they look.
Where? I know.
Especially the girls. I don't know if it happens.
No, it happens.
For the boys, but for the girls, I've taught in girls' schools, and just by the way the girl looks like, you can tell they're not happy, they're not comfortable, they're not contented. They'll feel it and so much annoyed when the people gaze at them. They imagine they look big this way, they look this way, and they look that. So I think that also contributes to teen depression because they are oversensitive, they are overconscious of how they look and how the society views. I also think teenage depression is caused by the death of a loved one.
Yeah.
Especially now we have COVID-19 and today you're with your dad, tomorrow he's not there. Mommy was there, then all of a sudden Hayuko. That is really affecting young people and they find it difficult to connect again. They don't know where to start. This was someone they were seeing, they've handled a lot with this person, they have gone through a lot, and then all of a sudden this person is not there. So I think the death of a loved one really contributes to feelings of anxiety. Some of them, they're not able to negotiate the grieving period, and because of that they might get to a point they break down, they're unable to pick their pieces again and move on. So that could be a factor. I also think it's caused by drug abuse.
Yes.
Drug and substance abuse. The moment teenagers indulge, and we have had of recent cases of young children. Not even teenagers, watoto wadogo, class 7, class 8, they are trying drugs, they are trying beer, they are trying this and the other, especially like at time hawajakuwa shule. You know, now the calendar, the school calendar has been distorted. So our watoto wame overindulge in too much. So because of that, they might end up getting in stuff that are going to weigh them down, because mwanafunzi akiingia katika utumiaji wa madawa ya kulevya, alcohol or tobacco or whatever it is, itafika point and they'll not be able to get out of it. And that of course can affect their academics, it can affect their social life, it can affect the way they do things, and depression might set in because of drug and substance abuse. They'll need to buy these drugs and maybe they're not able to afford so they'll get into some other maladaptive behavior like stealing. They'll become robbers at very young age. We have juvenile cases, many of them. And when they realize that I'm craving for a drug, because of course it's very addictive, and they're not able to get it readily, then what is going to happen? They're going to get depressed over it. Let me say that teens have also gotten into romantic relationships.
Tulikuwa na hizo drama.
I teach in a mixed school, and I see a lot of wanting to get into a relationship, and I think it's affecting many people, many young teenagers, because they want to explore something that they think could be amusing, it would be nice. Falling in love when someone tells you they love you,
it feels good.
And then somewhere in the process of the love, there's a heartbreak. You know, they realize that he was promising me this or she promised this, but they were not able to deliver. So because of that, we've had so many cases. A case in study, I had a case of a girl who would not hide it. She came and told me, Mwalimu, there's this guy that I met over the COVID break, and he even told me he would pay my fees. He was willing to help me journey the academic cycle, and then later he would marry me, only to realize he's married. You can imagine, this girl is in Form 2. So by the time they're in Form 4, what has happened? There's too much of emotions that they are not able to, you know, as a teen, they have not matured to a point of handling breakups. They don't know how to handle when it gets to this point in a relationship. What am I supposed to do? They lack that kind of an experience. So some of these are the things that we think can contribute to teenage depression.
Okay, so I think being a teenager is hard and crazy in its own way. So how would a parent, just somebody tell the difference between a teenager who is moody, a teenager who is just sad, and a teenager who is just depressed? Because hormones involved in teenagehood. Well,
depression does not occur just once. That's why we call it prolonged feelings of anxiety. It's something that has gone on and on over a period of time. Because it's normal to wake up and feel you don't want to talk to people.
Yeah, it's normal.
You know, it happens. Sometimes teenagers don't want to eat food. We can't really call that depression. There are a few things we need to look at. Now, the manifestation of depression, especially amongst teens, will come out in 3 dimensions. One is what we call the physical dimension, what we can see just by looking at a teenager. And when you talk about the physical, we will look at sluggishness. You know, a teen will just become sluggish. They wanajivuta, unajua, it's like they're going nowhere. They are absent-minded. They're not eager about life. They're not enthusiastic as they were before, of course. We appreciate that there are some teens who are naturally introvertic, tutua na nyamazanga, so we can't say really they are depressed, but we can observe, a parent, a teacher, a friend will observe that this teen A has changed. They have become all of a sudden sluggish. Still under the physical manifestations of depression, there's general fatigue. The teen will want to sleep
a lot.
They'll want to sleep too much. Unamwacha tu analala, you know, anaamuka anafeel tu anajikokota, amekuwa tu mzembe. They don't want to do what they were previously enjoying to do and all that. Still, when you talk about the physical, kuna watu wanajiachilia all of a sudden. Mtu tu alikuwa anang'ara, sasa aogi. No, inakuwa like unamforce aoge. Ameachilia nywele, hafui nguo. They would recycle a trouser today, tomorrow, the other day, ameanza kukua mchafu. They don't care how they look, they don't care their dressing, they don't care about the grooming and all that. These are things we can see in a teen, and they can tell us something could be wrong somewhere.
Yeah.
We also have the cognitive perspective, which deals now with the mind. And one of the things that will happen to teenagers who are depressed, they'll have irrational thoughts. They'll start contemplating suicide. You know, watu wanaanza kuambiana nyie hamnipendi na hamnipendi, nimejua hamnipendi, huku sipendwi. Those kind of irrational thoughts. They'll get so irritable, they'll get so angry, so bitter about people. They'll want to blame others for what is happening to them. In their mind, they start imagining their failures, and they don't look so good, no one appreciates them, they don't feel the sense of belonging in the family. This is all in the mind. You'll find they're withdrawn. They're withdrawn from people, activities that would initially excite them. They don't want to do them. People who are so much into soccer, TV kiongea, all of a sudden they become too irritable. Kitu kidogo amejam, amekasirika. I've seen teens who even break items in the house, you know. They're so bitter. I taught a girl who would literally cut herself. Akijam, akikasirika anaanza kujikata. You know, those levels, you know, of bitterness, they can lead to depression. And of course, we can now tell this child needs care. They need some attention. They need to be treated. They need some therapy of a kind. Then we also have what we call the social perspective of it. You know, teens who are depressed, some of them will completely withdraw from social circles. They'll want to keep off. They were very active on social media, and then all of a sudden they go down. They were very much available for meetings, for coffee, for practice if they're in church, and then all of a sudden they are no longer there. They don't want to associate with people. Unampigia simu, they don't want to answer. They are always mteja and this kind of thing. They are keeping away from society. So we can look at manifestations of depression in the three phases. What we can see just by looking at the teen, and then what goes on in the mind of the teenager, and then in comparison to their previous social life, what has happened to them.
So nowadays we hear of people saying toxic parents, toxic relationships, where around hapa unasikianga, not say teenagers peke yao, hata hapa university unasikianga mtu akisema mimi nikimaliza sitaki kurudi home, ama time ya long holiday, those 5 months are too long, sitaki kwenda home. Kwa nini? Hatuko sawa na wazazi, you know, such things and probably zinaanzanga tu from kitambo. I would want you to tell me, do you think parents wanacheza role in teenage depression?
They do. Because parenting is a skill, and of course because we all come from different backgrounds, it means we come from families where the parenting technique is handled differently. Because of time we may not go into the details of this kind of a parent, this kind of a parent, but generally we have two types of parents. The parents we call authoritative parents. You know, parents wenye wanasema nimesema
na lazima kuende,
nikisema nimesema, and the children know. They know. Unajua daddy akisema hivi ni hivyo. And this kind of parents, okay, they are good because they instill some sense of direction to the children, so bringing the sense of discipline. But again, because things are changing, we need to give room to dialogue. Let's hear our children out. We might think they are teens, but they have a mind. They have the cognitive sense. They are developing, they are growing. There is a lot they are craving for. There is a lot going on in the life of a teenager. They're thinking about books, they're thinking about who loves them, they're thinking about what to study after school, and all these things could lead them to serious stress levels. So parenting really contributes significantly to the depression levels of our teenagers. Again, if you have a laissez-faire parent, the parent who doesn't care, the parents who are going to go away from home, they only call, did you do this? Have you eaten?
Pesa anatuma na
I've gone to people's homes and you see children jumping all over. You're like, what's wrong with this kid?
Hawatulii.
And the parent is like, ako sawa, you know, they don't, you know, they are parents, unaweza pata wakiongea, you're not even sure whether they are sisters ama ni mama na mtoto wake wametoshana. Of course that again has its own consequences to the extremes. So I think to handle parenting, it's important and it is imperative for a parent to take time to understand their kid. This is your child. And you have a huge responsibility to understand what's going on in the life of this child, particularly when the child is around you.
Yeah.
A time will come and they'll be away from you. They'll be in university, but they're going to handle life based on how you taught them. You know, their upbringing is very important in the way you bring up the child. So I think as parents there is a role to play. There's a lot that should be done in as far as the parenting is concerned. Take time to listen to your kid, have dialogue with your kid, follow up on the progress of your child. If you realize they're not performing well in school, want to find out what could be going on. Have sessions with your child. If your mom, have time with your daughter, talk to them, share with them what's going on in their life, let them talk to you, and I think all these things are going to be covered at family level.
Guys, it's a challenge to us, especially us as young parents.
Yes. Usifanye mtoi kuogope. We should not have fear in a family. We should have discipline, yes, but again a sense of warmth, that I'm appreciated.
And
if I have
I'm
a challenge,
loved,
kama ni story ya relationship, I can talk to mom. Yes, I can talk to mom. Kama ni story ya performance, kuna subjects unanipatia stress, I'll talk to dad bila kuogopa atanichapa. You know, so that the child feels accommodated and they feel that their issues are also handled at family level.
In 1 minute, able tell us, these families, unajua, normally a setup ya family ni dad, mom, then kids. There are situations where there is no mom or there is no dad. That family, I don't want to call it broken, but still, it's not kawaida. Do you think watoto in those families get depressed?
I think if you are in a single parent family, whether mom or dad, it shouldn't be an issue. Because the same skills that are used in what we would now call a kind of a complete family, so to speak, they're the same skills. I've seen children. Let me use myself as an example. Me, I'm from a single family setup. No, I didn't grow up with my dad, but today I'm whom I am because of what my mom taught me to become. You know, she told me that even without a dad, you yourself will be a better dad. You'll be a good father, and so on. So I'm where I am today, not because I didn't have a father or I had a father, but because of the value systems that my father inculcated in the family. So it doesn't really matter. So children should never give an excuse of unajua sina daddy, sina mom, or mothers waseme hapana unajua huyu ni kijana hana baba. Sometimes you also look for father figures. We have pastors, we have uncles that your children can connect with, and they all play a role in the overall development of the child, cognitively, psychologically, socially, and so on. Right.
So tuseme tunaongea kuhusu mashida, their signs and you know what teenagers go through. So what do you think we should do? Because tuwezi tu ongea alafu tuache hanging. So what do we do?
I think it is important, kids. Let's create awareness about mental health in general. Let's talk about it. Unajua siku hizi mtu anaonekana ameanza kubehave funny, watu wanaanza kusema amecheese. We condemn them and we are like huyu ametupa mbao, huyu amebadilika, amekuwa mbaya, siku hizi anavuta bangi. We are just saying things. Let's handle mental health at the lowest level possible. Sometimes I even feel like we should have these topics even in primary school. You know, let's create awareness amongst teachers. Let's have foundations that can talk about mental health. So I think that can really help. Let's do more of this kind of videos so that if this video goes viral out there, someone might recommend, I think you need to talk to somebody. There is a state that depression can get to and it needs clinical approach. And my prayer is that it will not be too late by the time you think or you consider seeking interventions from a psychiatrist. We don't want to get to a point where we're dealing with people at rehabilitation centers, 13-year-old children, 15-year, it is painful. Worst of all, we don't want to bury teenagers out in depression. We've had so many cases of suicide, even amongst, I lost a Form 2 boy who committed, kwa sababu alikuwa ameandika hadi kabarua, alikuwa ameandika the letter, hata alikuwa amesema nani ataattend mazishi yake, what will not happen in the funeral and all that. Na ukiuliza what the issue is, anasema ya kwamba kwao hapendwi. You know, wakwao wanne yeye anasema yeye hapendwi. Look at that. Kama ni kupendwa, can we teach children what does it really mean kupendwa? Ili asichapwe kiboko and then they feel sipendwi. Asiambiwa hapana you're dropping in your performance and then they conclude no one values them, no one appreciates them. I think they need to be guided. So I think we need to create awareness, and again we also need to have more of dialogue. Let's visit people, let's talk to people, and when you notice that someone has changed, address it at counseling level. Talk to them, let people feel free, and of course that is going to help significantly to curb the number of cases of depression.
Yeah. So, in conclusion,
well, Kate, time fails us, but I would want to address this team who is watching this video, and probably you're feeling it's overwhelming for you, like there's too much you have to handle and you're not able to handle it properly. I want to encourage you that all hope is not lost. Talk to someone. If you feel overwhelmed, whatever is going on around you and you feel it's too much for you, someone is a phone call away and they are willing to listen to you. Your mommy loves you, your dad cares about you, your teacher is concerned about you. Someone loves you, and if all people don't love you, then God is there. He loves you. He'll hear your prayer when you call. Thank you.